Welcome back, everyone. It's your boy Marcus, the barber with the bow tie,
And I'm Brice Davis of Brice Davis Media.
and we back at you with another straight from the chair.
Oh man, it's cold.
Oh my
It's
God!
cold, so a good old seasonal depression tends to come around. The sun likes to chill out away from the clouds and all that. And if you got the blues, me, I'm a full-time parent, so you tend to get a little overstimulated or stressed at times. You might not feel like doing things like you did previously before. And I think that that's something that we should definitely talk about because I think a lot of parents are going through that. I imagine once you reach teenage years, it's not as bad, but I have no idea.
Yeah, man. It's like when I came home, my kids are pretty much preteens and teenagers, and they had their life already set, man. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I had to get penciled into outside of like basketball, soccer games, that kind of thing, wanting to do things with them one on one.
Yeah.
Teenagers, I remember being, I'm sure you remember being a teenager. You become a little more independent.
Yeah.
So you got your own life. So teenagers really aren't a problem, unless, they're not coming home at curfew.
I think with me, since I have a younger child, I tend to try to create some distance. Like I'll isolate myself in the room because if I'm already overstimulated, I don't want to take it out on her, especially if
Hmm.
I'm stressed out already or I'm not feeling up to par. And she's always gonna be on go, like always happy.
Always,
So
right.
one thing you don't want to do is pour over into that. Just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean your kid gotta have one. So that's the number one thing for me would be to give yourself some time, space, and it might be an hour. Who knows?
Right,
However
right.
much time you need, don't feel bad for it neither.
I think it would be cool to incorporate something like that into your parenting style so that you don't get overwhelmed and overstimulated. Because I know mothers who let their kids run until they go to bed, 12,
Yeah,
1 o'clock. Like, I think you should create patterns to help you,
structure.
right? So that you can't help when you get overstimulated, but you already have patterns in place that your kid is already used to following. So when you, like you said, you distance yourself, you go to your room, maybe even put her in hers. But if that's a practice every day at a certain time, the kids go to their room, then you can automatically count on having downtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and downtime is definitely important. And don't think that the kids can't pick up on when you're overstimulated too.
Right. Some
And
of them take advantage of it.
I was just about to say it's not
Yeah.
like they're evil or nothing, but they'll definitely run you to the ground if they notice they're getting away with more than usual. So, got to be mindful of that.
Excuse me. I agree. I agree. Women and men parent a little different. Men, we can compartmentalize a thing or things, so that we don't get overwhelmed. But in times of overstimulation, you definitely got to have practices that allow you a chance to release. But
Definitely.
and you got to make sure you don't want your overstimulation to cause your kids to act out. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
kids will act out just because they're a ball of energy. Like I tell a lot of parents in the shop, like I don't care if they run around because that's less moving they'll do in a chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so let them get it out. But a lot of times parents are so used to telling the kids to sit down and be still, they're not feeling where I'm coming from when I say just let them get that energy out. So yeah, it could be anything.
I
That
would say attention. Like one thing I noticed, and I thought she was out of that phase of life, being 5 and all that, turning 6.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the phone, like last time I was on the phone for a long time, she started wilding out.
Right.
And I thought only like little kids, like toddlers and like 3, 4 do that. I didn't know that I'd still be dealing with that to where if I'm on the phone and she feels like I'm not giving her attention, and it's like you got my attention all day.
Right.
And the minute that I start doing time for me, making time for me and talking on the phone, start acting out. Shoot, that I ain't gonna act like I got it figured out.
Right,
But
right, right.
it's definitely a talk that you gotta have with them to let them know, like, hey, look, you got my attention. Can't have my attention 24/7.
Mm.
That goes into adulthood, though. If you think about it, why certain people act out.
I can see that. Just not developing any coping skills or self control in certain areas because everything stems from like what I was saying, you creating a pattern so that when you do experience times of overstimulation, you can maneuver through that without hurting anybody's feelings. Whatever causes the kid to act up, it could be unmet emotions, the
Yeah.
kid feeling like they need some attention or they're being ignored, or it's just in them to want to be some affection, you know what I mean? Or you can have unclear boundaries that cause your kids to act out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
Most
mean?
definitely the unclear boundaries. But just to go back to being overstimulated, I will say this though, and it's kind of like depression. One thing about depression is when it's over, you always bounce back no matter what. There's
Mm.
always a bounce back period. So when you're overstimulated with being a parent, I've noticed I've always bounced back. You know, like once that's over with, to where I got enough time to myself, I'm always back. I might not be as back as I was before, but I know in my
You
head
ain't
it's
tapped out.
temporary. Huh?
I said you're not tapped out.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. You get just enough boost to do whatever you got to do, and be about your day.
So what are ways that you handle meltdowns? Like, are you caught off guard when your daughter have her meltdowns, or is it something that you
Nah,
can
see, I
expect?
think that's where fathers come in the most is regulating emotions
Mm.
and talking with them and acknowledging their emotions. Like, I understand why you're mad, sad. One thing that we all do, I'm guilty of it as well, is what's important to them don't be important to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember going to Kroger, they be always trying to give you stickers and all that. Is it okay she get a sticker? Cool.
Right.
As we're walking to the car, drops the sticker, the wind blows the sticker away. Meltdown. And it's like, dog, it's just a sticker.
Just a sticker.
It's
Right.
just a sticker, but to her, it was like, yo, that was mine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right. Right.
possessiveness, like just gone. And it's just important that you talk your way through it with them and not allow your emotions to dictate how you handle that. Because one thing that we tend to do a lot is just blow up on them instead of talking through it. And like even being disciplined, if you think about it, like in the back of a kid's mind, they know when they did something wrong. And let's say you yell at them or do what you do, if you still gotta talk them through why this is bad, and
Right.
even though they know, but you still got to take the time out to explain.
Right. Right. Right.
And I'm guilty of all this, by the way. I'm not trying to sound like
Oh, we all are.
yeah.
We all are. There's definitely a pace you got to set yourself to when it comes to rearing your children, man. Do you think her behaviors are more nature or nurtured? Like, do you think does she act like you, or is this
Oh man,
her own characteristics?
that's hard for me to.
You don't remember how you was when you was a kid?
I mean, but the thing is, it's a girl, so yeah, it's like thinking of yourself as a girl, and
Well,
I wouldn't know how it would be. I know me and my sister are worlds apart.
I think kids pretty much take after their parents in a lot of ways, regardless of the sex. But
Actually, I would say that she has my temperament.
right,
Like she's pretty well tempered. Everybody says their kids are good. Everybody,
right,
everybody in
right,
their
right,
mom
right,
says, "Oh, my kid's good," and they be bad as you know what.
right, right.
But I can honestly say, like a lot of people come up to me and be like, "Yo, she's cool. Like she don't be tripping." You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You got that look like, no, she ain't. No, like,
Right.
I mean, she got comfortable with you, but for the most part, she's pretty reserved.
Yeah, yeah.
She's very
No,
empathetic.
I could see that. I could see that. And like most kids, when they get comfortable with you, they love you. You know what I mean? So they all on you. And she be attacking my ass. You know what I mean? I'm cool with
She
it.
definitely
So
has like more of my intellect, and I could say temperament.
yeah.
There's some things though that I can't remember. Like there's times where she needs to be assertive that I have a difficult time connecting with because it's like if you don't like something, why don't you just say it? And so I gotta take myself back when I was 4 or 5. How assertive was I?
Right.
So I feel like there's a point where we're domesticated. Your true self starts to slowly be detained because society teaches you can't be too blunt. Yeah,
Right,
you can't
right.
be too blunt. So that's why I gotta remember. Was I like this? Because I be wondering in a lot of situations like why you let a kid do that to you. But what I'm saying too is like I don't remember being that passive at her age.
Right, right.
It's hard to gauge that.
Right. Honestly, all my kids kind of they're an equal blend of us both. But on the surface, I'm very chill, very laid back. You know what I mean? And I think they get a lot of that from me. My kids weren't hyper. They weren't everywhere. All of them, all four of them are pretty mild mannered and easygoing. And I like to believe that comes from me.
Well, actually, now that you say it like that, like her teacher does say like she's one of the like most sociable ones in class,
Right.
and I'm definitely not like that. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I be
Right.
getting mad, like we ain't never gonna make it home because you gotta say hi and bye to everybody.
Everybody,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like yo.
So that's what she gets from her mom, probably.
Mm.
Yeah, I can see that though. And I'm not.
Oh, that's
I
fucked
don't want to
up.
take all the credit. You know what I mean? Because nature versus nurture, but because I wasn't around.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a whole village, so you should know more than anybody
Well, you know,
how
and
genetics work with children.
right. Shit, I'm still learning to ask myself, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the main things I would say is like temperament, you know, how quick tempered, how sociable they are, introverted, extroverted.
Coping skills, how they deal with disappointment.
Well, yeah, emotional regulation. I think a lot of that is nurture. I mean, nature. My bad.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. Like, if you're highly impulsive, like that can pass down in genes. So
I mean, you can nurture some of that stuff. You know what I mean? I that's I don't know, bro. I would think it's a little bit of both.
we forgot to even preface this whole conversation. Nature versus nurture. In case you don't know, it's like, how would you describe that? Like,
It's what's taught over what you inherit. You know what I
okay,
mean?
that's well said. Yo.
Yeah. Like naturally, my son has a lot of my natural qualities. You know what I mean? But seeing that I left when he was like 9, some of the nurturing that came from his mom probably made him a little more a mama's
Yeah.
boy than you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's where it gets a little funny gauging it when you're not in full control of.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit, my baby mamas have said, specifically my first one, she said that he has a lot of my qualities, even though I was gone for a little minute. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's good to know, like, because my kids are awesome for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're. I mean, I only seen 2 of them, and I don't know his son. He seemed funny to me, and your daughter definitely seems like a girly girl.
Right.
Yeah, loud and
She's definitely, and they are kids. Like
yeah.
they are brother and sister. That you met my youngest too. That's Myron and Madeline. Yeah, they are definitely brother and
The
sister.
M's okay.
Yeah.
I see M
Yeah,
gang.
yeah. That's my oldest two starts with M's too.
Nah,
I
shit.
don't
Okay.
think I don't know that my oldest two are as close as to each other as my youngest two, specifically because their nature versus nurture. My kid's mother and her brother aren't the closest.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know that, you know, their mother like really focused on brother sister relationship as opposed to just letting them exist,
Yeah,
coexist. You know
family
what I mean?
values are important, especially like over the holidays. That's when you're supposed to have the get-togethers. And I think if you're not like that, then your kids really might end up like that. Like if
Right.
you're not close with your family. How would you say your closeness with yours? Nah.
No. My siblings and I don't get along, unfortunately. And but
Okay.
that's kind of how my mom raised us, you know. We all have different fathers and you know, we have like real big gaps in between our ages, so
I
we
know
didn't
that is.
grow up close at all. And I definitely wish if I knew then what I know now, you know what I mean? I would have definitely focused on our relationship. But when you're in it, when you're growing up, you don't really realize
Yeah.
what it is until after the fact.
Yeah, no, I definitely relate. I would say even on both sides, you know, it's like when the grandma passes, you know, it falls apart. Then it's like on your dad's side. Most likely, if your dad has siblings, they don't have custody of their kids, so they can't really force their kids. They got to really make an effort to make y'all's kids like know each other. And
Right.
if they don't make that effort, then yeah, because I still got first cousins. We're probably close in age nearby that I never met or know. So
Wow. Right.
yeah.
It's a lot of estranged relationships in families.
That's
Yeah.
true. Even in singing. Okay, so I got a small family. Like it's not many, but when it comes to being related, I'm related to a lot of people in this town.
Right.
But I don't know them. I didn't grow up with them. It's
Right.
like you find out at a later age, like, yo, this is your cousin that so and so was related to yo so and so.
Right.
I'm already 30, so like it's hard. I can't really build that bridge because we're already grown. Like we went to school together, but now we're grown and away from each other. The most I can do is try to tell my daughter who the descendants are, so we don't interbreed,
Right.
which
is a thing in this area.
Don't do us, bro. This ain't West Virginia.
Right. Nah, I don't know about no crossbreeding, but I can see it being very possible. My guy Chris Bruce, like he say, man, I'm related to everybody in Xenia, so he has to date outside. He can't even date a black girl because he related to everybody in this town, bro. That has to be amazing.
As a kid, I used to not believe it. Like when people used to say they was related to so many people,
right?
Because I had a small family, so I didn't grasp the idea that grandparents could have been like their grandparents could have had 15 kids. Like all I know is we have 2 kids and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, we started finding out some stuff. It's like, whoa. Came across a situation even as a teenager. Like one of my cousins like me, and I used to be nice to her, but I thought she knew who I was, and I was being nice to her, a little extra nice, because I knew we was cousins.
Right.
Your grandma used to watch us, but I'm probably a year or 2 older than her, and the way it came out the way that I preferred it not to, but somebody making jokes like, so like you, blah blah blah. I'm like,
that right.
Yeah, like your grandpa and my
we gonna edit that part right there. No, I'm just playing, but but see, I can see that in this town though. I can see that. I mean, that can happen in any town, but particularly in a town like this.
Yeah. That's why it's important to make sure your kids know. Take the time out. Maybe make a Facebook group. That's what my aunt did, and she made a group, added all of us. I was like, oh, that's people's. How so? Or they got Ancestry now. You can look up people like that. That's what we did.
Yeah, don't be over here creating cousin brothers. You know what I mean? Man. It's crazy because for me, my father's side of the family is from a whole nother country, so I ain't got to worry about that. But it's funny because in that country, that there's small towns like this where that shit happens. Like, you know what I mean? You end up fucking around with your cousin.
Oh, I know so many people in this town that have that going on. So I mean, it's a thing.
A lot of times, people don't even know they related and find out.
It's more so when you don't know. Like
right. Most people that I know, most people, because I only know like a couple of people that experience happened to, but both situations they didn't know they were related and found out when they went to a family reunion type shit. You know what I mean? That's heavy.
Yeah,
that's heavy.
That's devastating, man.
Like, who you come here with?
I actually got a friend like that. His grandparents. He's white. Not that that means anything. So he might be listening. But yeah, he told me his grandparents found out they were related, but they were already married for so long, so they just wrote it
out. That's crazy.
But yeah.
You got to be careful in these small towns, y'all.
They say we all came from Adam and Eve.
Listen, bro, I still don't understand that.
The concept of Adam and Eve?
No, how we all came from them.
I always assumed it was a metaphorical story. I don't know. Do people take that literal? That we came from 2 people?
Yeah. Most
and they would have to be black.
Most religious people, yeah.